recording. Okay, we're recording, Jacob. If you'd like to a little introduction to what we're going to be doing today, so I'll listen to the recording. I'll be able to follow.
Well, today we're just going to build some familiarity with JavaScript. That's the goal for this morning. We've used JavaScript pretty extensively in this project. I know kind of the last Daniel has put together out of JavaScript code for the trivia game that we made. Spent the last couple of weeks kind of refactoring, organizing, improving code that he wrote. Some of us are at different, kind of different levels of experience with JavaScript. So today, I don't want to do a lot of coding myself today. We'll pass it off to you guys. We're building some more familiarity with JavaScript. So the first, is maybe done a little bit of JavaScript before, maybe not a whole lot. I guess some of you may more than others. So I'd like to do first off is just a JavaScript and existing source.
Ask why JavaScript? What does JavaScript allow us to do? What kind of interactive functionality can we accomplish with JavaScript that we can't accomplish with HTML?
Well, HTML is static, so pretty much any interactive, any bells and whistles, just the use on a web page requires the use of JavaScript.
Like creating forms or making animations.
Animations. So there's some limited animations that you can accomplish with just CSS.
Mm-hmm.
Animations are often handled with JavaScript. You sort of dynamically retrieve information from a database. That's frequently done with JavaScript. We did that trivia game project. The sort of bells and whistles, if stuff appears, disappears, changes colors.
You want to interface with the keyboard, the mouse, or even voice.
So JavaScript is kind of all the HTML is the content, and CSS is the style, and JavaScript is the functionality, all the bells and whistles that go with the website.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jacob.
We will very briefly share my screen, and then we'll talk about projects that I'd like you guys to take here. There we go. This website, put this link in there for everyone. This website is for an open JavaScript library that someone put together. Source, meaning that it's free for anyone to use. In particular, this open source project uses what's called the IT license, which means that it's not free to use but even if you're making, and you're ultimately going to sell, you can sort of use this as a component in in your larger website, as long as you give credit for this part of it to the to the open source project. So this is, they call it progress bar JSON. This is just one particularly nice one. It's not a particularly fun one. I just picked this as an example. I thought this was a good one that we end up using for our trivia game. We had that progress bar that Daniel put together in the trivia game. They actually coded all by himself, which was impressive. But sometimes to make smaller, we can build on top of other people have built it. This would be a good alternative to press bar that Daniel had created. Page, and you can do this on your machine too. Go down to some of these pulls. We have a little progress bar. You click run, and you can see the little progress. I call it progress bar kind of. So, and then a circle. It's pretty cool. I have one with a number in the middle. A whole bunch of options. Different does. That's pretty cool. They have a whole bunch of options, and we'll look at the different options can do. Look at this. Oh, it's not. There it goes. Hit. Okay. That's not working here. See it. If you can barely see it, it's tracing the Big Dipper constellation. It's pretty neat. So the project that I want to hand off to you guys is to create a whole web page. Really just need one thing on the web page, and that's going to be a progress bar that's created using this this JavaScript library here. So what is that you will download. We can just click. Not here, so I'm just going to save stuff on the desktop. Oh, that's click GitHub. Maybe the easiest way to the file that you need is to go on to Git, and I will certainly this or GitHub. There's lots of great examples too. I want this one. I'll paste this in the chat box as well. We download zip, which way this code. Okay. And this is kind of small d, but there's a dist folder, which is distribution. And down into distribution, there are the actual JavaScript files. And I have that on my desktop for now. I'm not using a computer because there's a bunch of constructions up where I have my desktop going from a family day. Kindly to me for podcast. Okay, so the first task, I guess, is to just simply download the and just a simple using of choice. Demo. That should be an HTML file. And let's add it. You absolutely have to put the type in. I kind of like to, but you do need to put source or src. And let's see, we saved bar.min.js. The one I had, that's the function. Folder. Okay. And I don't do anything with it yet. I'm just going to slow world. And I open that file. Let's see, real world. We're able to be getting that to display. It's still having to switch to a new computer at the last minute, I guess. Friendlier. Okay, we'll get to work on that. So my security settings or something like that. Let's see what happens. I didn't use my script tag. That would do it. Security issue to walk through. I know some of you guys have had that same trouble when you don't have like a server set up, so I may have some setup to do before I can actually get something running here. It's the issues of switching it up. Always important to have a good setup, and I was unfortunately thrown off my preparation this morning. But have hopefully this have all ready to go. I can work on this while you work. The first task is to get that file downloaded and in an HTML, a very simple HTML file. So,
can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
the ball to Ala or Gabriel and just guide them through?
That is the next step here. So, one of you guys volunteer to share your screen there.
You want?
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Okay, my text editor open, and I'm on the term.
Great.
Am I still like open in them, or do I just like?
So if you look in the dist folder, this is probably a zipped up file. You'll want to extract either the minified or the full progress bar.js. If I want to spine, so we can put it in the same folder with your HTML document, wherever that's going to go. And while you have this open, you see those first 3 lines there are the license.
Yeah.
That's important. Legal and ethical reasons. Whenever you're using an open source library like this, you want to leave that license there. So you can see, even though the rest of the file is minified, so there's no spaces or anything like that, that's just minified, so it's as small as possible. They still do leave that license in there.
Okay.
Great. So this is now kind of in the same, put them where in the same folder where you can link to it from your HTML file. That would be great.
I have a question. When it's minified like this, it's very hard to edit. If you wanted to change the color or modify the JavaScript source module, what are your options?
If you wanted to modify it, you wouldn't use the minified version. You would use. See, in that distribution folder, there were 2.
Yep.
There was one that was not minified and one that was minified. Generally speaking, it's JavaScript library. Very rarely would you ever actually make edits to a third-party tool. Because they'll be making updates over time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to keep their code in the original state so that you can edit it easily. And a good one like this one will have options. So if you want to change, they have actually a lot of options, so you can change and customize things without having to edit the code.
Great. Thank you, Jacob.
So it's for our purposes to, going wrong and to debug. That's another reason why you might get the full version. But for our, so Isla, you'll just want to save this. Whatever folder you're going to use for the demo site. Let's
for the demo.
Copy.
I can make a folder then.
Okay.
There's demo JavaScript or something.
Perfect.
Just save it as like or something.
That I would keep the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we close it or keep it open? And we're
You can close that now. We're done with that.
okay.
And now
ones and work off of it, or do I just like start from like tag or like put?
Yeah, I think let's start a new one from scratch. Yeah. Yep, yeah. You have your ML tags and your head and body.
And would body back over here? Would body go farther?
Well, you close your head.
Oh.
Or when you start an HTML element, you start it with kind of the name of it between brackets, and then you close it with and then name of the element like that.
So would this? It would be closed.
Keep the HTML. It will look like that. You can see the chat box.
Oh.
Like you have an opening tag and then a closing tag. Right, there you go. And that's the same thing for the body, which comes after the head. Yeah.
Things for the opening and closing.
Yeah.
I like good to hit return after the open tag, so then keep your indentation. Oh, put a return between the head and the slash.
Oh, okay.
You're still in the header, and your static HTML goes in the body. In there? Okay. Now ready after you position your cursor right after the head, the open. Nope, that one there, and then hit return. And this one is instead of a tab to indent, and then insert your JavaScript code. Is that right?
Yep. We'll need HTML at the very end too. So yeah, there you go.
Try to get in the habit of not using tabs, Isla, but spaces.
For example, I sometimes use I'll use tabs, but then I'll rely on a development environment to auto format and fix all my indentation for me. But yeah, this is a good habit to use space instead of tabs. All right, here we'll put our JavaScript. So this is going to be a script.
Okay. You like would be
So it's just the word script. Well, it's a tag, so it's like a script to make it a self-closing, what we call self-closing tag. Okay, and so what we can do with the script tag is we'll give attributes, which are well, it's one attribute for right now, which is src or source. So in the chat box, kind of what that will look like. And we save that that file with progress bar media, I think.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get the name.
And Jacob, would you recommend putting all your JavaScript modules in a folder like we do with images? We don't have a file with files in it.
Generally, for this we're going to have, two files here, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, if you have anything bigger than this, you probably have a separate file for JavaScript, which we've been doing.
Great.
Okay. So that,
What if we go in the copy Isla like Jacob did, so that we can tell if yeah. No, yes, indent and if you don't put any tags in front of text, the browser will usually interpret that as just being a text string with whatever default text is set up in the browser. Is that right, Jacob?
Mm-hmm.
what should I put in front of it? Is nothing?
There's default tags if you don't put any tags there.
Oh, should I open it up and see it?
And demo first, didn't you? Great. That's
Okay. I can
The file name going to make it hard to.
Isla, we discourage naming files with spaces in them.
Yep.
Because you can't always tell that there's a space there. Same with underscores. We don't like to use underscores because if a name is underlined, you can't tell if it's a space or an underscore. To get you in the habit of naming your files according to our convention, all lowercase and dashes in between words.
Okay. I'll finish it. So when is up now? I saved it. So open it now that it's saved.
Okay. Need to. We'll see. I'm not sure what you may need to do with your map server, but we'll see.
Have you got it working yet?
I have her same problem.
Oh, same problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So which is Isla, do we have MAMP on your machine here?
Yeah.
So let's see if we can find MAMP. I don't know what the icon looks like. So. Okay. There we go. I would like to have preferences.
Oh. Yep.
And I think over at web server on the right, we change your document root. Yep. This is what, yeah, I would have this installed on my machine if I had time. Let's see how long it takes to download, actually.
Yeah. Do this and then go to it.
Yeah. If you go back one, and I think just select the folder. Okay.
Back. Still shows up as.
Oh yeah. So if you click that, if you click the little folder to browse.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. I look forward to the recording when I get back. But I registered that in order for a browser to run JavaScript, you need your web server installed.
Local files, you've got to, yeah, that's the easiest way. Okay, start your server there, Isla. Start web page there. So when you go to this in the browser, you'll go to localhost, not by the name of the file. Okay, now you have a link you can click on. It should open your page.
Something come up as anything.
If we view source, what do we see here?
Right here.
Expand the head there. I have your script tag closed.
Oh. Do this. I didn't do that. Okay. Is it that? Oh. Wait.
Looks like.
Isn't it closed on here?
Oh, I had that mistake too. I guess it doesn't self-closing your script tag. So self-closing the script tag to make it my silly mistake. You can close CSS like links for CSS, but not for JavaScript.
Okay.
So instead of so make an actual closed script. Like so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I'll bet you can do that on your machine too, and get that to work.
Yeah.
Silly mistake on my part.
Did I close it right here?
Yeah.
That's it. Here. Okay.
That's fine. If it's empty, then it's fine to have it on the same line. advice to have it on separate lines is good if there's something in the middle, but if it's empty, I think maybe have it on the same line just because it won't clutter things up. Yep. Okay.
Now I can.
Gabriel, are you able to get this far as well?
My world is still not displaying.
Okay. Maybe we can pass you the ball, and we'll get the. Great. Thanks. A mistake on my part that wasted a little time this morning. Okay, we're right track now.
Is this correct?
You need to share your screen first.
Oh, sorry. Can you see?
Okay. Looks to me, assuming assuming it's all in the right folder. Okay, so notice about the name of your file. It's html.html. Yeah. Okay. Browser, what happens here? Nothing. Hit F12 and let's view source. Okay. Things getting put in that. We must not have the script tag closed correctly there. See that? Okay. It's with the script. It's not seeing that the script tag is closed. Let's look back at your code. It looked like you had it closed, but maybe not.
Oh, right. It's right here. Okay.
Okay. Problem that I had before. Closing the script tag. Actually have a closing script tag at the end. Yeah. Good. All right, we got that out of the way. And if you, if you go back, if you can open that up again really quick, let's hear that if you hit F12, one of the others. Okay. If you expand the head there, let's have. I think you can just click on progressbar.min.js right there, and we make sure that's getting linked in. Maybe you're not able to do that. If you hit sources, you over it.
Okay.
There we go. Linked in correctly. There's all the JavaScript. Beautiful. So now we're going to try using this library. If you have to put the link in the chat box, I see you have it open, progressbar.js. And yeah. So if you go left one, tabs, we have this sort of intro guide with examples. So you we can get kind of recreate one of those examples. Um, in fact, if you could probably even just copy some of that code. Great.
Okay.
What you want to do is we'll want to create a script tag, and this time instead of specifying a source, we're going to just have our own code. And let's this at the end of the body tag. Let's do this at the end of the body. Good practice. That means all the the body will load first. I want to make sure your beginning script tag is closed, and then we'll need to add in a closed script tag. There we go. There, some of that highlighting plus is kicked in. Okay, and we have yeah. Well, so let's just put a closed script in there. Look back at the example that they had that we just copied from. You can see they have it indented. I don't think you don't need to take all the time to those. I think.
Well, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Well, I think it kind of does, but I think just for right now, I think we're okay. If you'll note, so if we look closely at the code there, okay, so we're creating this using new, so new bar.circle. So we're creating a new circle object. They have a kind of class defined called circle, and there are two parameters passing to that constructor. And the first one there is the hashtag example-circle-container. What B is that's a selector for an HTML element where the progress bar is going to go. You will need to have in your, earlier in your HTML body, you'll need to have an element with that. Having with any ID you want, you'll just have to change that parameter in the JavaScript code. And do that. Let's put in an HTML element somewhere in the body after hello world or before. And so let's just create like a div or yeah, everything, and then make sure you do close it. You just give it give it E to the class, and this is actually going to be an attribute inside the starting div tag. Put it in the chat. Okay. When we say HTML attributes, things that go inside of this tag.
But it should be this.
And you can call this. Oh, so this could be whatever you want to call it. This is just going to be an ID for that element. Yeah. Okay. Now, where in the code that we put over, progress bar dot circle, and the first argument there is going to be the selector. We've looked at selectors before, like when we do CSS or jQuery. Hashtag is the ID of the element. So hashtag example dash circle dash container looks like for your code, you're going to want hashtag progress bar. Right?
Yeah.
Cool. So leave this in action. Huh?
Oh, it's huge. Okay.
And if you read, you can see it go again. Okay. So that's working. If we dive into the documentation, there are all sorts of options. And if you see the hashtag progress bar that we put in there, there's curly brackets and then a bunch of these options. And these options are how you would customize what it would look like. Pretty common thing for JavaScript libraries that we'll be using is they'll indicating which HTML element. They'll ask for an ID or a selector like that, which could be an ID or even a class. Be all these options. To change the size, the size might actually just be the size of the div. So you might put like a height and width on your div. And
The first one.
so to do that, you would put it inside there, and you would actually say equals typically do this style kind of thing in a separate CSS file, but for this for simple example, go ahead. Okay, is that how they determine the size? Let's go ahead and refresh. We could look into the documentation if we really wanted to be sure. Here we go. Cool.
Maybe we
Some
should.
of these options, huh?
Yeah. What does it mean?
I'll bet that is the color of the circle.
Okay, so just
So all A would just be gray, and that'll be a little lighter gray. Yeah.
I'll just put this more noticeable color. But the progress or speed.
Speed. So that's so let's figure that out. I remember it's duration, but let's look at the let's find that in the documentation. So if you go to that GitHub link, we can go back to the main part of the project. Right where your cursor is. That'll be back kind of through. And if we scroll down, they have a bunch of here. Yeah. That's and specifying in milliseconds. So 100 would be half a second. Second. If you wanted it to be slow, you would make it long. Make sure you do put a comma after the slow option. You don't need one after the very last one, but you need one after there. Yeah, maybe take away the last comma then after duration. You need commas up until the very end. Yeah. Okay, so let's try.
Actually, nothing.
Still pretty close to probably the initial speed, but what if we change that duration now and make it bigger?
A lot bigger, okay.
1,000, 20,000, something like that. And if we save, and then see action.
Okay, there it goes.
Yeah. So let's look at before we break for the day. Let's look at the documentation and see what all the different options are. To GitHub, and scroll up a little bit. Okay. Here, okay, so the line there have links, I guess, to the different. Click on. Well, actually, we've been working with Circle. So if you click on Circle, there it says parameters. On the first container, like in our case, that was the hashtag bar. Then options, and here it lists all the options. There's color, the width, whole bunch of options here. As we saw that one example where there was text in the middle. There's null that we found already in duration. The way animation looks. And you can also have it kind of change color as it goes along. So it's kind of easing. And make sure you match the case there. Match like capitalization. Sometimes it's not, but just to be safe. Okay, let's see. Difficult to see because it's so slow, I think. What would you change that to like 2 seconds? 2 milliseconds.
Sorry, the...
Right.
Okay.
So as this slows down just a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The other one that was like bounce or something like that I was looking at earlier. Probably have most of the options. Bounce.
Yeah.
We're about out of time, but that's yeah, I wish we had more time to play around with this stuff. It'd be pretty fun once you get it going. Thank you, and Gabriel for sharing your screen there. So that's obviously just one of many source JavaScript libraries that are out there. Well, I'm sure we will using that. I'm sure if we don't use that one in particular, I'm sure we'll use others when we do our next project. And easy, you know, be pretty easy to use if they have good documentation online. So you find one of those online, like that one, and they have all those examples, and they have sort of a getting started guide. You can, if you have time, you can follow that kind of step by step and see how it all works. So lots of really cool stuff that you can do with those existing JavaScript libraries. Guys, we'll see you next time. I think this was the last of our Saturday morning webcasts. I think we're going to, the next web development project is going to be on Sunday morning. I think some time. I could be wrong, but don't quote me on that. I know Nina's going to be leading that. Working Ruby on Rails for side, so that'll be exciting. And I think that that'll be a pretty good series. So thanks. Next time, Gabriella.
Guys.
Yeah.